It started to rain today. The trail is the creek. I just made it to World's End State Park, a rock climb. Well, good morning. It's day 3. I survived the night. We had 2 thunderstorms throughout the night, but my gear held up fine. No problems. Slept really good. So it's about 6 o'clock. I already ate. I'm just going to pack up and I'm going to hit the trail. Alright, so I'm about a mile in. So far it's just been straight up the whole mile. I'm glad I did what I did last night and found a spot, because probably an hour after I got there and was setting up, I started hearing thunder. So we ultimately had 2 thunderstorms last night. So if I would have kept going so far, I wouldn't have found a suitable camp spot, and I'd have been hiking in the rain and at night. So I stopped here at what I think may be the top of the hill. I doubt it, but have to get my first aid kit out. I started feeling a hot spot on my foot, right on my arch on my right foot. So as soon as you feel a hot spot, it's better if you just take care of it right away before it turns into a full-blown blister. So I'm going to use my Leuko tape and put it on, and hopefully that solves it. Well, as you can see, it started to rain today. When I looked at the weather, it was showing 70% chance of rain all day today. So I am hoping that this doesn't hold up and that it stops soon. But we'll just keep on going. So the trail seems to be following this creek, and sometimes you're walking, the trail is the creek. About 1 o'clock. I'm at mile marker roughly 32. So that's about 10 miles for the day so far. So I'm going to keep pushing, but right now I'm going to stop for lunch. I'm probably not going to rest for a whole hour, but I am going to rest a little bit and then get moving. I am at roughly mile 37. I would have been farther, but there was some waterfalls and they had an alternate path. If you went the regular way, there was a ladder and it said use it at your own risk. So I took the alternate because it was pouring down rain and it was too dangerous. But what that ended up doing was adding a whole nother mile because I screwed up doing the alternate and it wrapped right around and it met right back up with the same alternate trail, so I had to do it twice, which was not fun. All right, mile 40. It's 6 o'clock, and I think it's starting to rain again, or at least it looks like it's gonna rain. But I found this really nice spot. Spot has benches and everything, perfect. All right, it's after 7. I did have dinner. Texas State Fair chili from Packet Gourmet. You got to check it out. It's really good. Hung my bear bag, and I got to get out of these wet clothes. Temperature's dropping. It's like, I think it's 61 when I looked last. It's a little bit breezy, so it'll be so nice to get into dry clothes. Okay, it's 4:45 in the morning, day 4. I had a quick breakfast, just ate some snacks. I'll eat a better breakfast a little bit later, but I'm gonna try to get a head start. I got a lot of miles to do today, so let's get started. I just made it to World's End State Park. It is about 8:30, so that's not too bad from where I was. And I'm crossing the Loyalsock Creek right now. I don't know if you can see how steep it is, but this is not a rock scramble. This is a rock climb. It's very steep and rocky. Yeah, this is one heck of a climb. Trekking poles are almost useless. Got to use your hands in a lot of the places. It's very steep. I still got a long way to go. I would say that this is the most difficult stretch of the trail so far. I'm between mile 49 and 50 right now, and I just came across this pretty nice campsite, so I'm just going to stop here and rest a little bit. I'm 9 miles in, getting a little tired, so then I'll push on. Well, I made it to mile marker 50. That's 10 miles so far for the day. Got 9 more to go. So far today, the trail hasn't been too bad. There was a lot of rocks. There were some flat spots, but mainly there was hills, but they weren't too rocky. Overall, this whole trail is pretty difficult. The guidebook that you can buy says if you start on the western terminus and go east, that you'll get the hardest part out of the way. Well, I'm just about done with the whole trail, and I can tell you there's not much difference between the beginning and the end of the trail. So when you read that, don't think that it's going to be much easier, because if it's easier, it's only slightly easier. I would argue the most difficult spot is after halfway, when you come up out of World's End. But that's something you have to decide for yourself. Overall, I love this trail. It's my second time back. Right now, I am at I'm doing the stretch that I did almost 15 years ago, where I went from World's End to Soane's Pond and back on my first backpacking trip. So, almost over. So, when you're out on the trail for a while by yourself, a couple days, gives you a lot of time to think. And you know what I've been thinking about all day? 2 quarter-pounder deluxes with cheese, a large fry, and a large Diet Coke with a little ice. Since the time I woke up today, oh man, now I'm in mud. Since the time I woke up today, that's all I've been thinking about. Eating my ramen for lunch, thinking about that cheeseburger. Oh, I can't wait. I made it to Soane's Pond, so that's about mile 53.5-ish, somewhere around there, if you're coming from World's End State Park. So I'm going to sit here, I'm going to have a snack, and then I'm going to push the rest of the way. I just passed mile marker 55. 4 more miles to go. Tell you what though, I am glad I added my cool / fall weather gear to my kit before I left, because right now it's in the mid to low 50s and it hasn't gotten any warmer, so, and there's a breeze, so I'm glad I was prepared for it. Made it back to the car. It's about a total of 59.5 miles, so 19.5 for today. Trail overall was great, very difficult, very challenging, but if I would do it again, I would add another day. If I had to compare this with another trail, I would compare it with the Black Forest Trail. However, I think this trail is more technical than that. I did the Black Forest Trail and it was tough because it was a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. But this one's tough because it has those ups and downs, but they're very rocky, and a lot of the places it's gravel and you're sliding. It's very technical. Well, I'm off to McDonald's. Thank you for joining me on my trip. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a thing. See you next time.